Hello and welcome. My name is Brian Eardley. I'm obviously a vegan and an animal activist. So a little bit about me. Actually, why I became vegan. I actually started off as a vegetarian a few years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I went vegetarian for the ethical reasons. I decided in my heart that I feel animals don't need to die, and it's kind of wrong that we take their life just for food when there's alternatives. So that was the inspiration of me going vegetarian. And then something that was always on my mind after that was I sure that I'm not harming life by eating eggs? So that bothered me, and then I did a little research, and then I found out the hidden truths with the egg industry, and then so on and so on with the dairy industry, and became ethical vegan just over 2 years ago. So that's a little about me. Now I'm actually an animal activist. I do many forms of animal activism, including street activism similar to Anonymous for the Voiceless, where I stand in the streets and show footage from the documentary Dominion on TV screens and hold people accountable, pretty much showing them the truth, what they've been turning away from their whole lives. And I also work with another group on Facebook. You can check them out, Midwest Animal Rights. We pretty much do the same thing as AB, except we don't wear the masks, and we put TVs on a table. I've worked with PETA. I did a couple of protests with PETA, and I'm always available to volunteer for any groups that that need help and require volunteers to come out. Animal Save Movement. I've been to a few vigils outside slaughterhouses, and it can be very intense. The animals are really glad you're there for them, and it's also making awareness to people that are just going to work daily and doing the slaughtering, that they see us and they know there's a voice out there. It gives people an option to think. Let me pause my video reel. Okay, and then another form of activism I do sometimes is stickivism, where I actually go in the stores and we put stickers, awareness stickers, don't actually have any with me right now, on food products so people can see what they're really eating. Chalkivism. I went to the park recently, and with some coloured chalks made some big murals about why a person should go vegan, with some links to the documentary Dominion. Another thing me and my friend do from Midwest Animal Rights, we like to just randomly go around stores handing out flyers. We've never really been told to move along. There was one time, and we've gone into McDonald's, asked for vegan products, and then educated about why they should go vegan. We've stood outside pet stores, and I always try and video and document everything that we do so we can share that online. And that's again another form of activism that I really want to talk about today, is online activism. I'm not saying I'm an expert at online activism. This is just what I do. So I'm actually going to share my screen now. I'll kind of minimize myself a little bit there. So the first thing you've got to do as online activism is get to know where the content is and which kind of activism groups you want to be in. So I think finding groups are very important. So the first thing I did when I come to Facebook, I click on this group button here at the top, and then you can search the groups. And when I first became vegan and I wanted to be an activist, this is where I started, and I searched for the keywords like vegan activist or animal activist, and I hit enter, and then all these groups come up, as you can see them here. So you can actually scroll through the lists until you find a group you just click on one. Let me see, here's one right here. Worldwide Animal Activist Vegan Group. You can join the group, and then most people will post on these groups, for example here, and so you will scroll through them, and if you see something that you think, oh my, you know, if my friends knew this. Let me find a post here. So here's actually a short video that I posted recently about why vegan, make the connection. This is actually an animal activist friend of mine. His name's Daniel, and we're actually at Shy 38 Farm Sanctuary. I think it was just before we were going to do our outreach in the streets. So we spent some time with the animals. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. I'll turn the volume off. So I think as an animal activist, and you want to speak up for animals, it's important that you find the time, go and spend time with the animals, get to know who you're actually speaking up for, make that connection. So if you can see that people are making connections with animals here, and they're explaining stories, and you really like this one and think maybe there's a friend that maybe benefit from watching this, you can actually, as long as it's a public group, you see that public right here, you can actually share this to your news feed. You can share it public, you can share it to a page or another group from here, or even directly to a friend's profile. So this is a good form of activism. A little tip that I give as well, don't be worried about how many likes you get on your posts or if nobody comments, because they do see the posts, and that's what's important. Your activism, you're pretty much planting seeds. Alright, so just give me a second here. So there are many types of different online activism. I know there's some chat rooms that you can go in. There is TikTok. You can make short videos. There is YouTube. There is other social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram. Myself, I kind of only use Facebook. I just find it so simple. And when I felt confident enough for social media, I actually created a group, and this is actually my group right here. This is Worldwide Animal Activist Vegan Group. So as an admin behind the scenes, I'm gonna get rid of this here. As an admin behind the scenes, I get to see things that other people don't get to see. For example, let me scroll down here to somebody's post. Let me see. I'll find one that was maybe put on there yesterday. Okay, so here's one from Animal Save movement, and it shows the crammed and horrible footage of pigs all crammed together in a slaughter truck. This is probably the first time they've been outside the shed. And you know, pigs spend their entire lives living in a shed, and when they're approximately around 6 months old, still children, they're crammed into these slaughterhouse trucks and taken away to be killed, murdered, ripped apart just for food. It's like so shocking. So this video here, if we quickly look below, as an admin here, anyone that comments here, I'm going to always read their comments, and I always want to respond, especially if it's emotional or if it's just something like this word done. I'm just going to like here. I'm just assuming this person that's put done is either shared or been to a vigil. If I don't look at how many likes, I know here it only says there was 3 interactions, a little sad face, a love, and a little like button there. I don't really care about that or the one comment. What we really look about here in when you own the group is this view insight button. So this post that was posted just 4 hours ago in this group actually reached 28 people. So I can actually click on the view insights, and it tells me some information just quickly about this group. And at this time when this was posted, there was actually 4,000 active members, and so far 28 people have actually reviewed that video, which is pretty awesome. And what's important here is you learn. When I look at this, I think, oh, 28 people, that's awesome. If one person went vegan because of that, isn't that awesome? Alright, and then let me go back to the worldwide animal activist vegan group here. So every day when I come in, obviously I have a full-time job, so I don't do this all the time. I just do it every spare minute I get. I have some admin tools here on the left, and this alerts me. Sometimes we do get some trolls in the group that will write abusive comments towards members, so I carefully monitor them, and I get alerts from Facebook or these moderation alerts, so I'll go in and remove anything that's not following Facebook community standards. And then also here I have some pending posts. I usually click on the pending posts and review them and make sure they're suitable, for the group. And then if I go out and find 100 posts now that I want to put in this group, if I put them all on at once, it's going to flood the group. People are not going to get to see them all, so I like to spread them out within the group. Every 2 hours, obviously I work 8 hours a day, so there's an awesome tool in the admins section on the left side here called schedule posts. So if I click on schedule posts there, you can see I've actually already got 113 posts lined up to go into this group, and I spread them out to hit the group every 2 hours, from 6 AM to 10 PM, and then anything that's I find on Facebook that I feel more it needs to be out there right now, I can slot it in between those times. So right here I have some footage from Paul Bashir, some conversations.
But would you take that stance with any other injustice? Would you say that if I was talking to you about racism and you acknowledged that racism is evil, would you then say, well, I'm just going to reduce how much racism I engage in?
So the reason I posted this one, or it's about to post, is because Paul is with Anonymous for the Voiceless, and he talks to people on the streets. He's pretty much an expert at outreaching to people on the street. So it's important that we learn all forms of activism. It's going to make us stronger, because we're not just going to be online activism. There's many forms that we can do. So as you can see, all my posts in here are scheduled to go out every 2 hours, and I have quite a lot in there. This one here, I'm just going to actually show you how you can change things here. This one at the top here, I'm just go ahead and post that one in now. So you can always change your mind or change it to scheduled times. Alright, and 1 second. Alright, and then finally, I won't bore you guys and keep you here all day. And finally, within the group, I like to click on this More tab here and press on People, and this actually shows a list of new people that recently joined the group. And I've actually already done my welcome. It's important that we write a welcome message to the new members, make them feel welcomed. So I actually have some templates that I use, and let me see if I can change my background here. Give me a second. Alright, so I've gone ahead and changed it. So this is actually a database that I use, and I drop and paste and copy links in here that I can use regularly into the group, so I've always got access to lots of content. So when I welcome new people to the group, I use this one here. It's a free workshop by Joey Carbstrong, so I just drop and paste that in there and welcome the new members. And then I've got a whole bunch of other things here that I found on Facebook that I can just drop, copy and paste in. It depends on if someone writes a comment that they drink milk, cow's milk, because they've been told it's healthy. So I have a little video here about milk and how it's not healthy. So I would just copy it and just paste that in. So I've always got access to content. Alright, well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about my form of online activism, or you think of any ways I could improve my activism, please go ahead and put something in the comments there. And thank you for your time and watching.